Anyway, Fiend. Lower Prains, Demons, Devils, Yugoloths, other Fiends, Demogorgon, Orgus, yada yada yada. Design note, Fiend Patron updates. Here are the main updates. Patron spells. Wait, is updated to reflect the return of pack magic? The list of spells is revised. Oh right, because Fiend used to be in the... Oh crap. Fiend used to be in the PHB tests. Oh god. Okay. Yeah, so what used to be a thing... Yeah, so patron spells used to have the thing you can cast one of your prepared spells from this feature without expending a spell slot, must finish the long rest before you use this benefit again. Right, and that's gone now because you now have Magical Cunning. Sure. Dark One's Blessing now works when... So originally Dark One's Blessing is when you kill something you get temporary hit points. Then Dark One's Blessing became, it's also triggered when an enemy drops to 0 hit points within 5 feet of you. And now it's become, oh, it works when an enemy within 10 feet of you is reduced to 0 hit points. It's like, sure. Dark One's Luck now only can be used once per roll. Yeah. Because you can use it a number... Okay, apparently that limitation wasn't there, but you can use it a number of times equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. I don't think I even knew this. I don't think I even knew that this was able to be used multiple times per roll. I think I just assumed it was a one-time thing. And also, like in the original PHB, it used to reset on a short rest. Now it just resets on a long rest. And then Hurl Through Hell requires a Charisma saving throw before affecting the target. Damage is now 8d10. Target has the incapacitated condition. I can't say the word condition anymore. While hurling through the lower planes. Okay. What did it used to be? Oh, it used to be 10d10 psychic damage. So that was nerfed. And it used to be a wisdom saving throw. Okay. Sure. I think... Do less creatures have charisma saving throws? I don't actually know how... Like, I know that wisdom saving throws get rolled more often than charisma saving throws. But I don't actually know how, like, the amount of creatures that have wisdom saving throw proficiencies and the amount of creatures that have charisma saving throw proficiencies, how that's like, how, you know, how those two numbers stack up to one another. Or what, like, the average wisdom saving throw is compared to the average charisma saving throw. I don't know. Alright, so patron spells, we still have Burning Hands, Command, Scorching Ray, Suggestion, Fireball, Stinking Cloud, Blight, Wall of Fire. Oh, wait. This was changed to Blight and Wall of Fire in the previous tests. What was it originally? Oh yeah, it was Fire Shield Wall of Fire, so they removed Blight from it. But originally it was also at level 5, it was Flame Strike Hallow, now it's Geas or Geese and Insect Plague. And then in the test it was Flame Strike and Insect Plague. Okay, this is... So they changed around the feed spells a little bit, sure. So Dark One's Blessing is now also when an enemy within 10 feet of you is reduced to 0 hit points. Here's the thing, like... I don't really get why they made this change. I'm gonna be honest. And I'm not saying that to be a dick, it's just... Is the idea that, like, if you kill something, if something dies near you, that your fiend absorbs their energy and you get a little bit of that? Is that the idea behind that? Because from a mechanics standpoint, this feels like something that just got tacked on to buff it, which I don't think buffing Dark One's Blessing was necessary, personally, but that might just be me. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. This feels like a weird thing to add, you know? Dark One's Own Luck. You can call on your Fiendish Patron to alter fate. When you make an ability check saving throw, use this feature to add a d10 to your roll. Sure. Yeah, okay. Still only regain all uses on a long rest, but the one change, in other words, is, yeah. No more than once per roll. Fiendish Resilience. I don't remember what this is. Channeling the preternatural resilience of fiends. You can choose one damage type other than force. But if you finish a short rest or long rest, you gain resistance to that damage type until you choose a different one with this feature. So, I've talked about this already. How I don't have as much of a problem with a feature like this if it's on like a short or long rests. Even though I still think there's a small amount of metagaming that can happen with these features. It's just I have a problem with in the Wild Heart Barbarian subclass, because there it's whenever you go into a rage, in other words, usually in the middle of combat, where, you know, a creature, where you see the creature, and if the player knows what creature it is, you know. Here I have less of a problem with it. There's still the element of like someone who looks ahead in the module and clearly metagames, but that's easier to pick out, because if like someone goes long rests and they've read ahead in the module and they're like, I'm gonna become resistant to lightning damage, and you as the DM look, and why lightning damage? I have a feeling like at that point there's this little element of like, okay, now you're just metagaming and being a dick. There's no way your character knows that, which some people are going to make the argument of like, oh, but what about during combat, which I find a little bit more but I think like I still personally think short or long rest is fine, because their metagaming is a lot less prevalent, and it really just happens once you play with cheaters, which honestly, if you see that someone's looking ahead in the module on purpose to use that information, you should probably just kick him out of the group anyway, because that's not okay. In my personal opinion. If you're fine with that, again, go for it. You run your games. I don't run your games. You do you. I just personally would not be... This is why I homebrew my stuff, because that way my players aren't able to look ahead. Yeah, and then... So yeah, I think this is a fine feature. What did Fiends... Did Fiends used to get this at level 10? Oh, it used to be bypassed by silver weapons or magical weapons. Yeah, I've never been a fan of... I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I've never been a fan of like, oh, you have to have a magic weapon to get past this resistance. You know why? Because to me, the idea of like you need to have a magic weapon is like at a certain point in time those resistances become completely fucking bullshit, because everybody has magic weapons. It also kind of screws over your non-magical attackers, like, you know, a fighter or barbarian. Plus, you know, monk then even gets a feature to bypass it, and I'm like, why don't you give them something that they can actually use? I don't know, like the whole silvered and magical resistances, I get where it comes from, and it comes from an idea of like certain creatures are stronger to this shit than others, but I have had so many scenarios where my creatures are supposed to have resistance to non-magical piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning damage, and I just go, fuck it, I can't be bothered. and I'll just like remove that, or I'll actually just make it full on. They're resistant to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Again, that's me, like me playing, so personal opinion. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, right, sorry. Hole through hell, so when you hit a creature with an attack roll, can try to instantly transport the target through the lower planes. Target must succeed on a charisma save. Against your spell save DC. So, charisma save, it now becomes 8d10 psychic damage if it isn't a fiend, and it has the incapacitated condition until the end of your next turn. Can't use it unless you finish a long rest or unless you spend a 5th level spell slot. Hurl through hell is a pretty decent feature, I think. Hurl through hell is actually pretty good. I don't know why they changed it to 8d10. I'm assuming because they switched it to a charisma save, maybe, but you know. Because I think, to be fair, it always gets teleported, right? It's just, it doesn't, it takes the damage once it comes back, right? Yeah, okay. So, again, I think this is a decent feature. Honestly, apart from the... I want to say, apart from Archfey, they've been pretty good so far. No, actually, no, Archfey was pretty good too. Oh, was it? Oh, sorry, it's the, never mind, I was talking about Sorcerer. I was disillusioned with the highest level Sorcerer subclass features. Never mind, sorry. Actually, so the Warlock features have all been pretty good. The like, last subclass level ones. So I'm pretty happy about that. I will say I am starting to wonder if full Warlock is playable now, because nobody really does it. Yeah, that's not true. There's people who do it. They just usually multi-class 2 levels into Sorcerer or 2 levels into Warlock, Paladin at some point, but you know. I don't know.